Before we begin, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a place where no one knew your name? Where your past didn't follow you? Where one small decision quietly changed everything? Welcome back to the channel. This is where we tell the stories we rarely admit out loud. Stories about love, longing, mistakes, and the fragile moments that redefine us. Tonight's story isn't about passion alone. It's about loneliness, and what happens when two strangers find each other at the wrong time. This is an affair that started during a business trip. There's a strange freedom that comes with being away from home. Different walls, different routines, and slowly, a different version of yourself begins to surface. I didn't leave home looking for trouble. I left with a suitcase, a schedule, and a life I thought I understood. But somewhere between the airport and the hotel room, something loosened inside me. A quiet sense of anonymity settled in. As if the city itself had whispered, "No one knows you here." That first evening, exhaustion pressed down on me harder than the workday ever had. I felt accomplished, respected, and completely empty. So I told myself I deserved one drink. Just one moment to breathe. One drink turned into stillness. Stillness turned into awareness. And that's when I felt it. Someone else sharing the same silence. We didn't rush into conversation. We didn't need to. There was something unspoken, hovering between us, like recognition without memory. When we finally spoke, it felt effortless. As if we were continuing a conversation that had started long before that night. We talked about safe things. Travel, work, the strange comfort of places that don't ask anything of you. We shared names, but not histories. No questions about home. No questions about who we were when the night ended. That was the agreement we never voiced. When we parted ways that night, nothing dramatic happened. No promises. No confessions. Just a quiet awareness that something had shifted. I lay awake longer than I should have, replaying the sound of their voice, wondering why it lingered. The next night, I didn't pretend anymore. I went back knowing exactly what I was hoping for. And they were there. That's how it began. With desire, but with return. What followed wasn't reckless at first. It was careful, measured, almost gentle. The secrecy didn't feel dangerous, it felt protective. Like stepping into a space where expectations couldn't reach us. With them, I wasn't defined by responsibility. I wasn't dependable or predictable. I wasn't anyone's safe choice. I was simply wanted. We never called it an affair. That word felt too heavy, too real. Instead, we treated it like something temporary, fragile. A moment we promised not to examine too closely. Mornings were the hardest. Not because of guilt yet, but because of silence. Goodbyes without language. Smiles that tried to say, "This stays here." Even as we both knew it wouldn't. When the trip ended, I believed distance would do the ending for us. That the story would fold itself neatly away once I returned home. But some connections don't understand logic. And guilt travels well. Messages followed. Soft at first. Careful. Then heavier with longing. Each one pulled me back into that version of myself. The one who felt alive in a way I hadn't realized I was missing. At home, everything looked the same. The routines, the laughter, the familiar spaces. But I had changed, quietly, internally. I carried the affair like a secret echo. Not replacing my real life, but haunting it. It didn't explode. It didn't unravel dramatically. Like most affairs, it ended quietly. With restraint. With ache. With words that tried to sound final but never quite were. We said goodbye the same way we began. Without witnesses. Without certainty. Without closure. I still think about that trip sometimes. Not with pride. Not only with regret. But with understanding. Because that affair wasn't about passion. It was about absence. About what happens when you don't know how to ask for connection. And someone notices anyway. Some stories don't end cleanly. They don't resolve. They simply leave marks. Reminding us of who we were. When no one was watching. And if there's one truth I learned from that story, it's this. An affair doesn't begin with temptation, it begins with silence. With needs left unspoken. And if we don't face those emptinesses honestly, they don't disappear, they find us somewhere else.